Welcome to the Green Streets Forum, where we discuss the topics and trends focused on environmental responsibility and green awareness. We're spreading the message about sustainability with a goal to share this information with a diverse community. We all know so that we all grow. And now let's jump into today's episode with your host, Kimberly Bullock.
All right, everybody, lace up your walking shoes. I told you today was going to be Environmental Energy 101. I have a few notes with me, so if you see me looking down, I'm not even going to front. I got my Cliff Notes. You know, back in the day, we didn't have Chat GPT. We had Cliff Notes. So you're going to be seeing me kind of looking down or a little bit, but I'm focused on you because, again, my goal is to educate and motivate and elevate. My name is Kimberly Bullock. I am the CEO of USB Solar Solutions, LLC. We actually are a company who sells solar-powered signage. So if there are any companies out there that are interested in our signs, that wish to market their companies, wish to be wayfinders, have wayfinders for their parking lots, and be sustainable and ahead of their time, certainly hit us up on www.usbsolars.com. Definitely this podcast is an organic development of what I do. So outside of being part of the market, I wanted to do this to motivate my community. A lot of times we as a people get left out of the equation. They simply don't think that we should be included. One of the things that has got me motivated many, many years ago, there was the Flint, Michigan crisis. And I find that I remember that time that, and those of you that don't remember, I suggest that you do the research, Chat GPT, and Google it up. There was an issue with the water being dirty. And I don't believe the government was successfully handling the situation. And there was some advocacy in place to handle it and address it, but it really wasn't enough. And from what I'm hearing, there still are some issues with Flint and the water. So basically, it was that tiny issue, and it's not tiny. It wasn't tiny. And when I say that, I don't say that because I take it lightly, but it was something that did not get the information that it needed, or should I say, the publicity that it needed. So that was one of the reasons that brought me here, in addition to my company, because my company does encompass an environmental product, solar product, which we will get into. And so here we are. So welcome to Green Streets Forum. Make sure you're laced up. We'll be doing a lot of walking and a lot of talking. So when we hear renewables, we think about saving the planet. And yes, that's part of it. But renewable energy is about saving money, saving the coins, creating healthier communities, and building opportunities in our neighborhoods. And I'm going to get to that especially at the end, because we can take this and really capitalize on it. And you'll find that as I go through all of this and I talk about the individual forms of renewable energy, you'll see that there's opportunity as well as how to help us be more economically sound, economically safe, and secure. So let's break down the basics. We're going to go into 4 types of renewable energy. Solar, of course, I'm going to start with solar. Yes, it's my favorite. Wind, geothermal, and hydroelectric energy. And we're going to see how they can make a difference right here in our urban community. So I'm going to start first up solar energy. And like I said, I got my notes. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm the guru, because I'm not. I'm still learning and growing with you. I'll come with some information. I'll arm you with some information, and I'm still going to continue to be a lifelong learner. So first up, solar energy. We know, we've seen them. There's solar panels, which are on my signs. You'll see the solar signs if you go to the website, www.usbsolars.com. There's solar panels on my sign. But in addition to that, solar panels themselves, they capture sunlight and they turn it into electricity, or sometimes into heat for water. Who has taken a shower, gotten so comfortable, water beating down on you, feeling good, you got your body wash going, or even if you're washing your hair, and then after a while, that water starts turning cold, and you gotta wait as the hot water heater fills up again. You've got to wait for that water to get hot, warm again. Well, for now, if you don't have solar panels on your house, you've got to wait for the regular electricity to heat it up. What happens? You're spending money. So in cities, rooftop solar is becoming one of the most powerful tools that we have. Think about apartment complexes. They're starting to use this tool. Schools and churches. I live over by the First Baptist Church of Glenarden. Huge solar area, and that's a mega church. Shout out to the First Baptist Church of Glenarden churchgoers. I know you all are definitely trying to be environmentally friendly. And even corner stores, they all have roof space and can generate clean energy, clean power. And here's something important. If you're a renter or you don't own a roof, and I mentioned that there are apartment complexes that are using this technology, don't feel left out if you don't own a home. Some community solar projects let people buy into solar farms and still get credit on their utility bills. I'm going to get some of this information for you and set up a blog. Well, we already have a blog on the website, but I can set up one of our blogs to have this information compiled for you if you want it, because I think this is very, very powerful for you to have. So even though I'm talking to you, I'm giving you a lot of information just in a little snippet, but I want you to go out and get more. Like I said, I want to educate, elevate, and motivate you to get some more information. For neighborhoods where energy costs are high, they're getting high and they're getting higher. Solar power can be a game changer. Absolutely. And it's not just about going green. It's about putting money back in your pocket. We all want that coin. So again, it's not about going green. It's about getting more green or returning that green. I can't say it enough. I've been watching CNN. I've been watching MSNBC, and I watch all types of news, and I'm an independent. I'm not talking politics. I told you from the beginning, I'm not talking politics, but I consume all kinds of news. And every sector of the politics, I won't say that, every sector of the entertainment, or should I say the news, from right-wing, left-wing media, independent, shout out to all of my podcast people that I love, Midas Touch, iHip, all of those that are independent media. They're all saying that, there is inflation and prices are going up. So again, solar energy can definitely be a way to help you put money back in your pockets. And we got 3 more energy sources to go through, and they also are another way to put energy in your pocket. So let's go into wind energy. This one it can be a little controversial. So what I'll do, I'm going to go into the elements of it. And then at the end, I'll talk about some of the controversy and then debunk the myths. You've probably seen the giant turbines, those big turbines that are out in the countryside. But wind doesn't have to be that big and that robust. In some cities, they have small wind systems that are nowhere near as big as those large turbines you might see out in rural areas. And those turbines are designed for schools and businesses, and even some community centers have those going on. Now, you know what's interesting is wind and solar can actually operate like peanut butter and jelly, believe it or not, because some days the sun's not going to come up. So if you can have a hybrid system where you have the solar and the wind, sometimes those wind systems can take over for when there's no sun and the sun has to take a break. The wind can take over at times. So that can work. So pairing them makes power even more reliable, even in a city grid. So again, you can use that as a backup. So and it doesn't happen a lot yet, but this is something that's in the works, and there are some that you can find. If I can put that on the blog, I will. That might be very interesting. I know about them in the study that I did to provide this information to you. And if I can find some information more about it, if there are some companies that are looking for that information who have subscribed to the blog and subscribed to this podcast and they want more information, I'll try to get to it. Listen, speaking of subscribing, please do like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We need that backing, and we need sponsors. We need as many sponsors as possible because we are a growing and hopefully to soon thrive YouTube channel. We're on all social medias. And if you can support us and be a sponsor, our person that works with us to get us all set up with sponsorships is Christian. If you can reach out to him on greenstreetsforum@gmail.com, he can certainly get all that information together because we need as many sponsors as possible to really get us out there and to spread the word. Because I told you I wanted to debunk some of the myths. Because let's go back to the large scale wind farms, because urban areas can benefit from the large scale wind farms because that electricity can come down. It can be transmitted down. Wind, even if we don't see it, from those big turbines can come down. It can be transmitted down. But let me tell you something, because this really got me a little tight. There is some misinformation and disinformation, and you may have heard some people have said that the windmills create noise pollution. Sometimes I can't hide the emotions on my face. Sometimes they say that the wind turbines are quick to kill animals that are flying by. They do a lot of things that may be detrimental to the environment. They're ugly. They are just not a good thing to have. Let me tell you something. You've got to consider the source, and what you will find in the midst of that information and disinformation is usually coming from those companies, those non-renewable energy companies that don't want you to partake. So again, please consider the source and consider wind energy as something to think about. Now, I put that out there. That's just something I'm asking you to chat GPT, Google me, fact check me, whatever you need to do. But again, consider the source. Now, with that being said, let's go on to geothermal energy. Geothermal taps into the natural heat beneath our feet. Think about when you went to school and you talked about the earth and you saw that cross section of the earth, and you might have seen the crust, the earth crust, where we're walking on it. Further down, you saw the yellow and the orange. That's where people are using and tapping into the hot springs or volcanoes. It's hot down there. But in cities, they are using the ground source heat pumps, where they're going down, and making use of the heat down below. Imagine an apartment building or a school that uses underground pipes. I said prices, and I want you to know that was a Freudian slip. But they use underground pipes to heat in the winter and cool in the summer. Now, you heard me say prices. Okay, I'm telling you, hold on to that, prices. So geothermal, it's clean, reliable, and stable, and it can seriously cut down utility bills. Families, affordable housing projects. It gives stability. It means more money left for food, transportation, or education. I said prices. So all of this is good. I love that geothermal can offer these things, but can I tell you a secret? It's expensive to build these systems. Once you got them in there, hey, very cheap, awesome, everything. You will save. But to build the system, I'm going to give you a true story. Husband and I, ready for our geothermal system. Had the people come in, do all the site survey and everything. Ready to go. Sticker shock, $17,000. You heard me, 17,000. Much to our chagrin, we had to kind of step back on that. It's kind of a pay now, pay later situation. And we would love to do that. But in the midst of doing other things, we definitely had to put a pause on that. So yes, geothermal is amazing, but it does require some expense up front. Think about it. If it's something that your pockets can allow immediately, go for it. But you have to think about it. All right, last but not least, hydroelectric energy. Now we're talking about H2O, we're talking about water. Traditionally, that means dams and using water as an energy source. Today, we're talking about also, you can take the water dams. They're not necessarily big ones. You can actually have a micro hydro project. Smaller systems, kind of like the Hoover Dam, which is huge. And you can generate electricity from flowing water that's in a small spot. Some cities are even exploring ways to use stormwater, and that can create power. I think that's a really efficient way. So hydro is steady, predictable when used as on a community scale, and it can make neighborhoods more resilient, especially areas when the grid goes down often. So we're going to wrap this up. I've given you a lot of information about 4 very high impact, environmentally friendly, renewable energy sources. And I hope you enjoyed it. I'm trying to do this. I'm at 20 minutes. I really wanted to do this around 15 to 20 minutes. So I just reached the 20-minute mark. But let me just say why it matters for urban communities. Because again, this is why we're doing what we're doing. So why does this matter? I'm going to tell you why it matters. It cuts down on the utility bills in cities where the cost of living is already high. DC is down the street from me. I'm in the burbs a little bit. I'm in Prince George's County, which is still expensive, mind you. It's not cheap to be here. But the utility bills in cities is very, very expensive. It reduces air pollution, which means fewer asthma cases and healthier kids. Shout out to my boy, Antoine Thompson, with the Greater Washington Clean Cities Coalition, gwrccc.org. Please check him out because, again, he is on that mission. And we need to focus on renewable energy because in the city there is a lot of air pollution, which causes these asthma cases and healthier kids. We are trying to move towards getting our kids healthier. It creates jobs. We're gonna install these plans. We've got to do that. And we have to maintain and manage these systems. And most importantly, it helps communities take control of their energy future. We got to take control of this because for a while, people and entities have been taking control of us. It's time for us to take control. And we have pretty much outdated systems, and the grids are actually being more expensive taking care of outdated systems. A lot of these systems are more efficient and less expensive, except for that geothermal. But we can work on that later, I'm sure. Renewables are not just about the environment. They're about three big issues. Equity, that's why I'm here. Health, that's another reason why I'm here. And especially opportunity. So, all right, folks, that's Renewable Energy 101. That was a mouthful, and I got it done in about 23 minutes. We covered, again, solar, wind, geothermal, and hydro. And now we're more than just clean power. We are holding the tools for stronger, healthier, more resilient communities. Resiliency. And if you're curious about what's available, check out local solar programs, community energy co-ops, or even your city sustainability officer. Tell you what, I'm going to make sure that Christian puts that on our website because he is my social media manager. He is amazing. Shout out to you, Christian. You've just been a lifesaver. I'm so grateful and thankful for you. And we're closing it up now. Thanks for listening to Green Streets Forum. I'm Kimberly Bullock, CEO of USB Solar Solutions. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you listening. Spread the word. Let everyone know that this is a movement. And I always say I'm here to educate, elevate, motivate. The more you know, the more you grow. And I will see you next time.
This episode of the Green Streets Forum is powered by USB Solar Solutions, distributor of Sunsign, a solar-powered signage lighting the way to a cleaner and brighter future. If you enjoyed today's conversation, visit usbsolars.com to learn more. Let's keep pushing forward and power the future of clean energy, one sun sign at a time. Until next time, stay inspired and stay green.